Well, hey there, it's Jenny, and welcome to Agent Success Secrets. I'm so excited to talk with Justin Himmelbaum today from Southwest Florida, right? Like South Florida.
Southeast.
Southeast. I don't even know my Floridas, but I just know that you get to have fun in the sun, and I don't always
That
get
I
that
do.
in Tulsa. So I want to learn from you, Justin. You haven't been in the business but 5 years or so, but you've already accomplished a lot. And what I love most about you is that you are living your most authentic, best life now, and you're not waiting until the someday that so many of us unfortunately do. And so just tell everybody who you are, what you do, and what you got going on there.
Yeah, so Justin Himmelbaum, Boca Raton, Delray Beach, Boynton Beach, Florida. Been doing this for 5 years. I started July 2018. My first full year in the business, I did about 10 million in business, and then 2021 hit, and me and my two admins, we sold 107 homes for about 44 million in sales volume, which I still think is just okay, but apparently it's pretty good. I've done it all through just being my authentic self, connecting with people, and just trying to live my life by design. So I know Jenny, one of Jenny's favorite things about me is that last year I sold slightly less. We did 66 units for 33 million, but I traveled for 130 days. So, I really love to share the life by design aspect of my business, and excited to share that with you guys.
Well, it didn't just happen overnight. I mean, you hopped into this business, but you already had a lot of skills when it came to people and relationships and connecting before you even got into real estate. So tell us a little bit about what was your background that gave you the insight into seeing the beauty of real estate, of helping people achieve their goals through real estate.
Yeah, I think I had three huge things in my life that really led to success being readily available for me. The first one, my parents, right? They're super loving, told me I could be anything I wanted to be, just like most parents do. But then they didn't punish me when I fell short or, when I messed up. They just showed love. And I think that was an amazing parenting style. That's a hard one to do because you won't know if it worked for way too long. It's easier to punish early on and try and fix the behavior quickly. The second one was my brothers are 8 and 13 years older than me. So I got to watch them live life slightly ahead of me, right? So I got to see their mistakes and learn from them and then adjust accordingly. So that was really big. And then my parents lost their jobs in the recession. I graduated college right around then, and had to go home and make money for my parents. So I got into the restaurant industry, became a bartender, and when the first bar I ever worked at was like a bunch of really cocky, strong men, and I'm a dorky Jewish kid who has just a ton of jokes. And I didn't think I was really going to fit in. So I just decided I couldn't be them, so I would be myself, and that was a breeding ground for all the connections I have today that have led me to be such an incredible realtor.
All right. So I actually waited tables all through college and beyond. I really feel like that set me up to understand and appreciate that I was going to be paid in direct proportion to the service that I gave. And
Yeah,
so, if you're paid on tips or paid by commission, you really take ownership of how you show up with your energy every day. Do you think that was a huge part of your success?
huge driver, right? And it's such a great way to get paid because if you feel like you have some control over it, whether you do or not, anybody's guess. But what we do know is that if you give better service, you're going to get more referrals. You're going to go a lot farther in this business. If you think about transactions as one transaction, it's going to be a long, long career. If you think about every transaction as 5 to 10, all of a sudden you only really need to sell 100 homes 1 year and you've sold 1,000 homes, right? So
Wow, that's a great way of looking at it. So I heard you share your production, and to me, I can tell you just got out of the gate fast. Sounds like you were probably just knocking it down, crushing it in your first years. You said you got to 107 with you and 2 admin. I did a lot of business by myself with some admin help and some support early on, and it was tough. How did you how did you handle that? And what did you learn about yourself or others in, busting through 100 families in a year, mostly by yourself as the agent?
Yeah.
And then realize that may not be your goal anymore.
Yeah, it's hard, right? One of the coolest things about being an entrepreneur and having your own business is you have to hire and fire and do all these things that really translate pretty directly to life skills. I always liken it to dating. You need the same, they say, hire slow, fire fast. You should do that in dating. Ask the right questions up front from your buyer or seller. Do that in dating. These all, in terms of, being a better father, right? Being a boss is basically being a father. So what can I learn in this world of entrepreneurship that will lead me to do the things that really I care about, right? Because business is a conduit to living a better life. I don't see business as a better life. So, right, traveled 130 days because I wanted more enjoyment out of life. I wanted to go travel. I got a tennis coach. I have a tennis coach twice a week. And I didn't really have the money for that when I started it, but I knew it would lead me to the places I wanted to be. So, yeah, I hope that I answered the question you asked. If not, just ask it again and I'll try again.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'll just kind of guide you back through it because I think that we get into this business, and I have a similar behavioral style at times where I thrive through relationships and people, and over time you become really great at that. You get to help a lot of them, and it can really get to some points of burnout or stress. And I learned that I would bring anybody into my team or my business because I just needed help, because I couldn't even stop to go slow to hire slow and fire fast. And I couldn't even do that. Right. If you had a heartbeat and a smile, you were on the team. And so I didn't learn how to be a great leader. So did you have some leadership skills or lessons in life before you got to kind of building your small team that helps you sell so many homes?
It's a great question. So I had 2 bosses previously who I think were very influential in my life. Do I think that their style was the best? No, but once again, I learned from their mistakes and I learned from the good things they did. Yeah. But what I really learned was on the job. So I learned from hiring and firing how to use the Keller personality assessment and how to go through the steps that Gary Keller and Mo Anderson and the rest of the team have put forth for us to be a better, boss. And that has led me to hire the right people now and have the right people in the right seats. But at first you don't know even what seats you need. Even though Keller Williams has the whole org chart mapped out for you, it's still not right for everybody. You're going to have to find your place in that org chart. So I figured out my own abbreviation of the org chart, my own version, if you will. And that's 2 admin, 1 in the Philippines, a cyberbacker, and then 1 locally who can show properties for me. She's got her license. So that is way more important to me at this point. Just having that small team. When I had the bigger team, I just couldn't help them the way they needed to be helped. They couldn't help me the way I needed to be helped. It was just too much. So I found with the smaller team, I could control it a little better. And the bigger you grow, the more problems you're going to have. And I am my personality type, the way I am. I like to avoid stress at all costs. So hard conversations, easy life, easy conversations, hard life. I have hard conversations up front. We get those out of the way so I know who to hire. If you're going to be the right fit, you know what I need. We're very clear. And then we move forward with the right people in the right seats for me. And that isn't 107 transactions a year. It's probably more like a 50, 60. And I can make enough money to be happy and do the things I want in my life. I don't need more money. That's for sport. If I'm gonna, especially if it's gonna be at the sacrifice of my health or my happiness.
Yeah, thank you for giving permission to
Right.
those who may watch or be listening to hear that you get to choose your life. It's your life. And I'm, an age now that I'm really looking into what the future holds for me. 50 years old, just turned in February.
Yeah.
And I feel better than I've ever felt. And I'm just so grateful for you for sharing this message at a younger age that others need to hear it and it needs to be spread for others to hear. So when you say life by design, define for us what that means to you.
So yeah, great question. So life by design for me is traveling, my why. I guess it gets back to your why, right? My why is to be the best dad that ever did it. I want to be an amazing father. So my business is all predicated on me growing more time in my life so that once I have a kid, I can be the best dad. I want to be the best boyfriend now so that eventually I can be the best husband and then the best father, right? So it's all predicated on that. So yes, money does help, but so does time. Time is way more important. So my life by design includes freeing up time and making money and being the person that I want to be. So learning the skills that it takes to be the best father. So I'm constantly reading books about how to be a better person and a better father. And so then when the day comes, I can be that.
Now, the money piece matters. You do
Yeah.
need to fund this perfect life that you envision and are working toward improving on every single day. So, how do you fold the real estate piece into this?
Yeah. So I fold the real estate piece into it I use social media to grow my real estate business and grow my influence. Um, and that has created a lead funnel that's been great for me. It's just staying top of mind. It's so easy with social media. Um, that real estate, buying more properties, becoming an investor, putting all that energy out there, leads you to live an easier life that now I can be that person that I need to be.
Okay, so you went there. We're going to talk about social media. It is such a
Yeah.
great way. It can be such an amazing tool to be your true authentic self or to be a total fake. And you can be the
I've
total,
seen them both.
yeah, you can be the total fake for a while, but you're going to give up or you're going to just burn out on that because you just can't continue to be who you really aren't authentically, your authentic self. So, Justin, you've put yourself out there in very vulnerable places in the social world. So talk about the ways that you doing what you love, having a life by design and help people sell real estate inside. How are you telling that story on social media? And then how is that translating?
Yeah. So, right, it goes back to the authenticity piece. I am me. I can only be me. I can pretend to be somebody else for a little bit, but at the end of the day, you come back to yourself. So if this isn't your shtick, don't copy my shtick. The shtick you should be copying is being yourself, right? There's only one of you, and people are going to relate to that, whatever it is. I happen to be the type of person who likes to do ridiculous things. So I do hip hop dance every other Monday. Then I post that on social media and people love it because it's ridiculous.
It is.
I jump in pools at my listings. I'm always trying to have fun in a new way, whether it's pickleball or tennis or traveling or eating at new restaurants. For me, it's all about figuring out how to have fun in your life and be who you want to be, and then letting people into that journey. I think that is so key. Because if you're just that buttoned up suit and tie agent pretending to be somebody else, people can't relate to that. Nobody wants that. Think about the most recent presidents. I'm not going to go into politics, but just think about all of them, right? Bush, Trump, Obama, those three presidents, Clinton, Bill Clinton, right? Everyone thinks of them. I would have a beer with that guy. The people who voted for them wanted to have a beer with him. That's the world we live in. People want to hire a realtor that they want to grab a beer or a glass of wine with or go hang out on their back porch. They want someone they trust. The world is so digital and lacks so much connection that if you can let people in and connect with them, the world is your oyster. When you close up and you act like the former politicians used to act, where people don't want to grab a beer with you, it is really, really hard.
So inside of your world on social media, that's really you. You are silly and goofy like that, and that's why you appeal to so many people. Is because that's who you really are. So what about the agents or the business people that are watching? They know they want to get more involved in the Instagram reels or doing video, but they have fear around it. They're scared. How do they start? How do they get started?
So one of the best things I ever heard, which has been, I heard it from Veronica Figueroa, and she heard it from 9 other people, right? But it was my SHI, a bunch of other letters. My poopy video is better than your non-existent video. So do anything. Start small. Start with something you can accomplish. You don't have to have your first video doesn't have to be Jurassic Park. It doesn't have to be HGTV. Steven Spielberg's first movie wasn't Jurassic Park, right? He made home videos at one point. So think about it like that. Just go and do anything. Just put out content. Start by just filming your face wherever you are with whatever your hair looks like that day. And just say, hey, I'm a realtor. This is what I'm doing today. Need anything? Call me. Can I help you? Do you need a painter? Call me. It can be that simple. You don't need to have the newest information. You're not reinventing the wheel here. You're just a realtor. None of this is life and death. You're just a realtor. If you think you're better than that, get off your high horse and just put something out. The way social media works and the way the 24-hour news cycle works, they're going to forget it in a day anyways, maximum. They'll forget it in 15 minutes.
And if it's terrible, you can delete it.
Right, it's gone. If it gets 10 likes, delete it. Who cares?
I've been in the video attempting to video myself for years and years and years. If you go back on the YouTube in 2014, I started using video and it's terrible, terrible. I was working off a script. I had my camera the wrong way. There's no editing, but you know what? I did it anyway. And I've gotten a little bit better at it over time. And I always like reminding people that that's really how you sound and that's really how you look.
Yeah. And it's not that bad.
You're just fine. Yeah. I love it. So Justin,
listen, if I can do it, I look like this. You guys see this? This is it. Like this isn't, I'm not Ryan Serhant over here. All right. I got a picture with him the other day. That's about it.
I think that's awesome. You are so charming. Okay. So when it relates to social media and promotion of yourself, your business, your story, who you are, telling your story, getting it out there, what are the best tools that you have found? Technology tools or, because people are going to have that question. Well, how do I do it? Not just how do I make a video, but what hacks and tips do I need to know?
Yeah. So in terms of technology that you can use right now, there's CapCut out there, which makes it really easy to edit a video. It's like editing a video for a 5-year-old. You can do it. I promise. Just try. Just sit there for 2 hours and play around with it. You can do it. I use Canva to make graphics, which is super popular, right? At this point, it's basically like Photoshop extra light, but you don't need Photoshop. You just need to put out the content. So do it on Canva if you don't know how to do Photoshop, right? The other thing I use is other people, right? Get accountability through other people. Have times when you're supposed to do things that people can hold you accountable for. So that's a people hack. But in terms of technologies that I use, Canva and CapCut are pretty much the two to put out content.
And those are super affordable or free. So
they are both free.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Justin, what's up next for you? What is on the horizon for your plan?
Yeah, so right now I am making my first episode of my podcast. It's called The Justin Himmelbaum Show. I had a list of 10 board members. We got together, we really thought about the name. We came up with The Justin Himmelbaum Show. I know, expert stuff, really. Um,
What's the
and then
content? What's the content on your show?
the content's all about it. None of it's about real estate. It's all about connection in a digital world, right? It's about connecting who you were, who you are, who you're going to be. So, the 10-year letter I think is huge. If you could share that with everybody listening. Craig Zuber came out with the 10-year letter, and I think it's so important to think about where you're going. So I love to talk to my guests about where they're going, and it helps you think about where you're going. And then the people I interview just have cool stories. So that's been super fun. And I just want to keep helping people sell some real estate. And then hopefully a marriage will be in my future and some kids.
Well, and then you'll be the best dad ever.
Best dad ever. I'm already dorky and a kid at heart, so I don't have far to go.
I love it. Justin, how can people best find you, to follow you, to reach out, share referrals?
Yeah. My favorite places are at Himmel Sells Homes on Instagram and at Himmel Sells Homes on Instagram. So just follow me there. You can DM me anytime. I'm constantly looking at them. Follow my podcast. I would love that. It's on Apple, Spotify, anywhere you want. The Justin Himmelbaum Show. And then feel free to reach out. Don't ever think my question's stupid. I don't want to talk to them. Reach out. I sell homes in Boca, Delray, and Boynton Beach, Florida. If you have any referrals, I would love them. Once again, you can reach out on Instagram or my phone number, 561-302-9709. But Instagram's still going to be just as good as that. So reach out to me, Jenny. I appreciate you having me on. This has been wonderful. I appreciate it.
I have had so much fun chatting with you. My face hurts. Now I'll need to go rest from all the smile. And thanks for bringing joy to my life and so many others. I love it that you're being your authentic, true self and still helping so many families, buy and sell real estate, and then being this leader for real estate agents by sharing your secrets, that there really are no secrets. You're just living your best life now.
That is the God's honest truth. There are no secrets.
You got it. Well, thank you.
Be coachable. I like that. We talked about that earlier. Be coachable.
Yeah, being coachable. Appreciate you so much. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Jenny. Have a great day.
Okay, bye.